All right, I'm going to go ahead and get started. My name is Christina Mosteller Hall. I'm one of the career coaches here at our UCSC Career Center, and tonight I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about how to prepare for the virtual job fair. So, we have a long history of job fairs at UCSC, but we've not had a virtual job fair before. And so we thought it was appropriate to do a little presentation for you guys to help you prepare. You'll see in some ways it's very similar to how you might prepare for any other job fair, but in some ways it's a little bit different, and we'll discuss that. So one of the first things I wanted to let you know is a little bit more information about the two virtual career fairs that we have coming up. So the first one is our UC-wide STEM Virtual Career Fair, and that's going to be on Tuesday, May 26th from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. So if you go to the website listed there, careereco.com/events, UC STEM, you'll see a listing of the employers, what times they're available for chat. We also have another UC-wide virtual career fair for all majors, and that's going to be the following day on Wednesday, May 27th. So same procedure there. You can just follow the link posted below, and then that will give you all the information that you need about the fair. All right, so what is a virtual career fair? Well, a virtual career fair is an online event which helps employers and job seekers meet in a virtual environment to exchange information about job openings. So it's just like an in-person career fair, but it's something that we make available to you online. So some of the goals of the virtual career fair include networking to build contacts. So not everyone you meet may have a job available for you immediately. Most of the people that you'll talk with actually are recruiters professionally. They're not people that work in positions that you would want to work in. But it is a good opportunity to meet with people, get questions answered, and build your contacts list. It can help you gather information to explore careers. You know, even as somebody that's been a career coach for over 10 years, there are certain career fields where I feel like, I guess overall, I feel like I know a little bit about a lot of different career fields, but I don't know as much about any one career field as a professional that works in that area. So a career fair like this gives you access to people that work for companies you might want to work to in the future, people that do work that you may want to do. It can also help you identify employers with jobs or internships in your field. So even though circumstances are different, a lot of companies are not hiring or have put on hiring freezes or different things like that, the companies that are attending this event have positions available. That's why they're coming to the fair. That's why they're coming to recruit. So it's a really good opportunity just for you to find out, okay, who's out there, who actually has positions that I might qualify for. So preparing for the fair, you will be able to review the list of employers participating in the fair and what their chat times are so that you can, schedule and plan your day. Research the employers by visiting their company websites, right? Companies have all kinds of information about what they're hiring for, what their mission is, even sometimes things about college hiring and what their training programs are like. So that's all information that should be accessible to you. Use your research to rank the organizations in order of your interests to determine which organizations to chat with. This is the thing. There's going to be a lot of different organizations available. You might not get to talk to everyone. So make a list of those companies that are the most appealing to you, and that way you can prioritize who to talk to first. I often advise students to, let's say you come up with a top 10 list of organizations from the fair. One of the things that I'll tell students to do is, okay, don't start off with your number one company. Maybe start off with company 2 or company 3. Let yourself warm up a little bit in the chat room or in the virtual video chat, which we'll talk about in a second, with a company that you're not so nervous about applying to, so that then you'll feel a little bit more confident when you talk to somebody from one of those companies that you really want to make a great impression. Prepare a list of questions to ask employers, and I'll give you some ideas on what some of those questions might be in a minute. Gain confidence by practicing your questions out loud, so that if you are in a video chat with somebody, you'll already practice some of the questions. All right, so one of the things you want to do is register for the fair if you have not yet. It's a little confusing perhaps to some people in that the event's on Handshake, but you have to click through because the event's not held on the Handshake website, it's held on the Career Eco website, so you have to register there. That's how employers will know that you want to participate. There's our tutorial videos to show you how to register and set up your account, and also how to use the platform. And this is a little FAQ from Career Eco, which is the tech company that has put together this event for us. They've been doing this for several years, I think about 10 now. So you can bring your phone up to the screen, snap a little shot of this picture, and then that will let you know, give you a place to go to for the questions. I think I have a question. I'm going to see if I can get to it here. Yup. Okay. I was making sure that it wasn't a question to me, but it was about the chat function in general. All right, back on target. So some of the things you want to know. You want to register, upload your resume, and RSVP to the event. You want to look for jobs and apply. Hopefully this doesn't mess up my whole setup, but I thought it was really important to show you what this means. So if I click here, theoretically, maybe, it might be doing it in a different window because I have my whole screen up. All right, hang on. Let me try. Okay, so this is the website for the career fair. It's on careereco.com, right? And then it has the information for our particular fair. If you go on here, you'll see a list of the employers that are attending. And then you can click on any one of these and it will show you what jobs they're hiring for, if they have jobs posted. If you register and set up your account, I'm not a student, so I didn't register and set up an account, but you're able to submit a resume for that. It also shows you if they have special chat times, like maybe they're talking to, I don't know, for this company, they're talking to biology teachers at a certain time and English teachers at another time. They might have a schedule, some of them do. The work authorizations, different places that they're hiring for, degrees, types of physicians, all kinds of information that could be useful to you in putting together your application. Hey, that worked. Yay. Okay. So the way that it works for the virtual career fair is that there are chat rooms. Each company has a chat room, and there will be recruiter representatives listed there. You can click on their names, and if they've enabled it, send them a private message if you have specific questions for the representative of that company, or they'll have public chat rooms. Just so you know, in the public chat room, it'll only show your first name and your last initial. So, not everybody is going to know who everybody else is at the virtual questions. That would be kind of odd, right? Some recruiters may take private questions, some may not. It just depends. The other thing that you want to be aware of is you want to make sure that you have stable internet access and a current version of a major browser, such as Chrome or Firefox, so that the software for the virtual career fair will work for you. That's really important. All right. So some of the things you want to be aware of as you're preparing for this event. Make sure you have access to a webcam and a microphone. What time zone will the virtual fair take place in? Now, this is a UC-wide fair. most of you are in the Pacific time zone, but I have talked to a few students that have gone back home, international students, students that live in other parts of the country. So just be aware of the time difference if that's the case. Make sure you have a quiet and well-lit space to participate in. It's no good if someone is bothering you, or the recruiter can't see you if they want the option to video chat. And make sure that you look professionally presentable. Now, the good thing about this event being virtual is you only have to look presentable from here up, but you're still going to be face-to-face with an employer, so you want to reflect yourself in a professional manner. So before you go to the fair, remember the 4 R's. Number 1, register for the event. Not only does that help you to know who's going to be there and to be registered ahead of time, but it's also really important to select which companies you're most interested in, because often the recruiters will prioritize who they talk to by which students have pre-selected that they have an interest in them. Number 2, research the companies. Employers expect you to know a little bit about the work that they do when you talk to them about applying for a job. So you want to know which companies you're interested in, who you want to talk to, and have done a little research on what they're hiring for. Review your resume ahead of time. You may not know this, but we actually have peer coaches that are available until 8 p.m. for drop-in resume critiques Monday through Friday, I believe. So you can have one of them, you just go to their Zoom room, show them a copy of your resume, and you're able to get some feedback on that, which is super handy. The other thing you want to do is rehearse your introduction. I advise students to write up something on a document so that you can copy and paste it into the chat. You'll already have it ready to go. But also rehearse how you would introduce yourself to someone if they chose to video chat with you. So you want to brush up a little bit on your communication skills in the next week. So one of the things would be making good eye contact. Now, what's strange about a virtual fair is that you can't actually make eye contact because you're not in front of somebody. So one of the things that you can do to mimic making good eye contact is to look right at the camera, right at the little green light on your screen as you're talking to the recruiter, and that will mimic eye contact. Obviously, you don't have to like stare anybody down, but just occasionally looking up at that light will show that you're focused and paying attention. Watch out for hand gestures. Make sure you smile and you're enthusiastic, and also that you show good posture. Again, even though it's virtual, you're still visible, so you want to be aware of that. Plan your 30-second elevator pitch ahead of time. An elevator pitch, if you're not familiar with the term, it comes from this idea that what if you were stuck in an elevator for 30 seconds with the CEO of a company that you've always wanted to work for? What would you tell them about yourself to get their attention and to engage them in a conversation? You have 30 seconds, you're only with them long enough to ride the elevator, right? So it's similar to an event like this. So for example, this elevator pitch is, hello, my name is Frank. I'm currently working towards a master's degree in public history at UC Santa Cruz. I saw on your website that you were hiring for a graduate student internship program. I was interested in public history while I was interning as a curator at a local museum. Was wondering if you could tell me more about the qualifications and skills you're seeking for the internship program. So you'll notice example person Frank mentioned what he was studying, a little bit about his experience, his interest in the field, and what it is that he was interested in from the recruiter. So, taking note, creating your own version of that you could either copy and paste into chat to introduce yourself to an employer, or rehearse if you got the chance to talk to them in person over video chat. All right, so as I mentioned before, recruiters participating in the event typically aren't hiring managers. They usually work in personnel or in human resources. So they're sort of, especially in larger companies, they're often sort of the first line screeners, just to kind of see if individuals seem appropriate, seem professional, seem like who they're looking for. Everything you type in the chat room during the virtual fair is a reflection of who you are to the recruiters. So you want to be very aware of representing yourself in a professional way. And your appearance and attitude will help the recruiter determine if you will be a good fit within their team or company. So again, it's a little strange to get sort of dressed up to sit at your house, but you'll be appearing on video possibly, and so you want to be prepared for that. So mirror the personality of the person with whom you're speaking, match the voice, the tempo, the pitch, match the physical characteristics, the facial expressions, and the posture. So if you're talking to somebody that's really enthusiastic, try to bring it up a little bit. If you're talking to somebody that's a little bit more laid back, you don't want to completely overwhelm them. The recruiters are the faces and personalities of the companies, and the candidates, like themselves, to represent the company mission, values, etc. So they're looking for someone essentially that's going to be a good fit at that organization. That is part of what they're looking for. All right, so some tips, tricks to get you ready. Prep your tech, right? Ensure you're using the recommended web browser and a device capable of supporting you in a virtual career fair. Use business communication, right? Demonstrate strong written communication in your interactions. Avoid grammatical mistakes, text lingo, emoticons, things like that. This is professional communication. Like I said before, I strongly encourage students to come up with some ideas of things that they might say to employers. Put them in, just like a little Google Doc, Microsoft Office document that they can have accessible to them. That way you'll know ahead of time that what you want to say is spelled correctly and written with correct grammar. You can't prepare for everything they might ask you, but there are a lot of things that you could prepare for. Still dress for success. Again, most employers will want to speak via text, but I would hate to have one of our students, be ready just for a text interaction, then have the employer ask about having a video call and then not feeling confident because they're not dressed appropriately. So make sure that you're professional and presentable. Also prep your environment. Make sure that your environment is as free of distractions as you can make it. A clean and organized background with minimal noise or no noise. Let any housemates, family, anybody know, hey, I'm going to be busy and I'd really appreciate it if I could have some quiet. And hopefully they will cooperate with you. So some of the questions I suggest thinking about preparing for before the career fair, things that you can ask recruiters when you're trying to engage in conversation are things like, what kinds of skills are you looking for in whatever role it is that you're talking about? What is your hiring process like? With some organizations, it's just a face-to-face interview. I mean, for tech companies, sometimes they have you do a technical interview or tour the facility. It varies. Do you offer training or mentoring programs? I mean, this can be very important for you, right? If this is your first professional job out of college, you want to make sure that you're going to have sufficient training and support in order to start your career. And what is the company culture like? I love to ask this question. I'll ask things like, what is the company culture like? What is your favorite thing about working where you work? Because to me, it gives an indication, as to whether or not that's a place that I would enjoy working to if I feel like they sound sincerely enthusiastic about the organization that they work for. Some of the questions that recruiters may ask you are, why are you interested in our company or our positions? So, everybody needs a job, but what is it about this particular job or this particular organization is appealing to you, right? Why talk to this employer instead of that one? What are you looking for? Employers want to know, do you need a job? Do you need an internship? Do you want to work part-time? Do you want to work full-time? Are there certain fields or areas where you're trying to gain more experience or expertise? Or are you just really eager to learn? Let them know. And finally, tell me a little bit about your experience. So employers want to know, have you had the chance to hold leadership positions, do undergraduate research, participate in an internship? What are the things that you've done already inside of UCSC to build your skills for success that would be impressive and interesting to our employers? Okay, so if you see a company that you really want to work for, but you don't see a position that's open that fits you, what can you do? I would still approach the recruiter. They're already there. You know, ask them, who should I contact in your company for positions similar to X, Y, and Z? And see what they say. They may have a specialized recruiter. They may have a manager from a department that they can put you in touch to. Get their name and contact information if they mention someone to you, so that you can follow up with them and see if they can forward your resume onto another department at their company. Your main objective is to really get the name and contact information of who hires in your field. To me, this is one of the big advantages overall of any career fair type event, is so often you see a position posted online, you fill out your application online, you're not really sure who it goes to, if anybody saw it, who's the right person to talk to. But I feel like at a virtual career fair, you can get a lot of those questions answered. All right, so some employers will enable private chat, and this is a chance for you to have sort of like a little mini interview before they decide if they actually want to talk to you later. So get ready to give them your little 30 to 60-second elevator pitch. Know what's on your resume. One of the reasons that we always tell students to be honest about what they put on their resume isn't just because honesty is a good policy, but also because we want you to feel comfortable answering questions from recruiters about any experience that you have listed. So if you don't, make sure you remove that experience, because they may ask you about it, and just review some of the things that you've put on there. You can initiate private chat with the company representative just by clicking on their username. You can send them a private message if you'd like. There's also a public chat room that'll be part of the virtual career fair. And I highly suggest, before you ask them questions, to review that chat so you're not just asking something that they just answered a minute ago. That the company needs. So this is why you need to do a little research ahead of time and have a good elevator pitch. Ask for contact information about foreign informational. Let me start that again. I got distracted because I got a message from my computer. Ask for contact information after the interview. So it's really important to follow up. I think a lot of people develop good contacts at career fairs, but then afterwards they don't follow up with anyone. So it's almost like they didn't even go, right? So make sure you get their contact information so that you can follow up. Also ask about next steps in the hiring process and take notes if the recruiter gives you any information about that. All right, so after the fair, I would send a thank you note or an email to each recruiter with whom you met. What's great about a virtual career fair as opposed to an in-person career fair is their names appear right there on screen. So you can have, you know, a little note app open on your computer and just type in what their name is, any of their contact information, any notes that you want to remember about what you talked about, so that when you follow up with them, you can have a really great sounding email. It just has to be a couple of sentences, but it could just simply be something like, thank you so much for telling me all about the opportunities at your company. I especially loved hearing about the one-year training program you offered new employees. I'm still very interested in the position and I plan to follow up. Apply online after the event. For some of these recruiters, they may not have the position posted through Career Eco because that's not how their company does things. But what I would do is go back to their website, apply for the position, and then in your cover letter, mention that you talked to their representative at the virtual career fair, because that's going to give you just that teeny bit of an edge over somebody else that didn't attend the career fair and doesn't have the chance to say, hey, I talked to your representative at the virtual career fair, and this encouraged me to apply. To me, that shows you're really interested in the company, right? Because you're not just applying to a job that you searched randomly online, but you actually went and talked to their rep at a career fair. So these are a few more career, helpful QR codes. I was thinking that you guys could maybe do a little snapsies of some pictures with your phone. But one of them is the FAQ from Career Eco, and they'll have reps on hand. So if you have any technical issues with their software, you'll be able to chat with one of them and they can help you out during the event. But they do have a little FAQ listing just in case you run into something. Another I highly recommend is the virtual event tutorial video. That was really useful for me. And one of the ways that I found out, hey, some of them actually have job postings that you apply to listed right there on their company listing. It showed me the feature where you can check off which employers that you're interested in. So they'll prioritize talking to you in their chats. So again, a really handy video that explains how the software works. And finally, there's a virtual event tutorial in PDF form. So if you just want to glance over it or just have a PDF form for some reason with information about Career Eco and about how their software runs, then that's another option that's available to you. Thank you so much. I'm going to stop sharing my screen in a second so that I can take questions. So if you have some questions that you've been holding on to, please let me know. And I just wanted to remind you that we have virtual drop-in peer advising for 10 to 15-minute sessions, which I think is excellent for getting a quick review of your resume before the fair. And you can even talk to them about putting together your elevator pitch. That's something that I know that they've helped students with before in the past. So again, they're available typically from 10 in the morning until 8 p.m. most days of the week, but you can check the calendar on our website for additional information. The other thing that I want to let you know is that we have appointments available via Handshake. So you can have a 30-minute appointment if you need more in-depth help for some reason. Those are available through our Handshake software. You might have to wait a day or two to get in to talk to somebody depending on what their schedule looks like. But typically you can get a hold of our peers the same day. So they're pretty handy. All right. So now I am ready for the chat if we have anything. And I don't, yes, the only question that I see asked here is a student was asking if the fair will be through the software, the Career Eco software, and not through Handshake, and that is correct. So we've contracted with an outside company, and like I said, they have been doing, I mean, I remember when I was in grad school, maybe that makes me sound really old, but they've been doing this for a long time. So they're very experienced with running these virtual career events. So we've contracted with them. So that's where you want to register and be a part of the event. All right. Any other questions or thoughts that you guys have about preparing for this event? No? Okay. Well, oh wait, there is one. Oh, you are quite welcome. The student thanked me. That was amazing. Anyway, all right, so then I guess that's it for our event. If you guys don't have any further questions, we're recording the event. We're going to be able to post this presentation for you so you can refer back to it. and we'll be able to send out the slides to you as well. Oop, is she putting in the Q&A? Oh, you are quite welcome. All right. Well, thank you so much for attending. I really appreciate it. And I hope to see many of you at the virtual career fair. I think given the circumstances that we're in, knowing that we have a good group of employers that want to talk to all of you fills me with a lot of hope and excitement. So I can't wait to see you there.